Hello, lovelies. It is Finish It Friday. I have decided that I'm going to do a Finish It Friday every Friday during 2026. So, my New Year's resolution, as you may call it, is to finish scrapbook layouts that I have started and not finished because I would be the queen of the unfinished project. Today, I am working with Stampin' Up Snow Days Scrapbooking Workshop. Right here, I have the instructions for the scrapbooking workshop. You can see that the workshop has three two-page layouts. These are easy peasy lemon squeezy workshops layouts. They're very basic. They're great for just starting out scrapbooking, or great when you're in a hurry, or just a great jumping off or starting point for doing your own scrapbook layouts. It tells you the materials needed, the workshop kit, the stamp pad, the blending brushes, of course, adhesive, a paper trimmer, and scissors. So you really don't need much to work with these workshops.
Since this is the first video in my series, today I am starting with layout 1. I had prepped the base pages the first week in January, knowing that I was going to go skiing the second week in January, and that if I had the base pages prepped, then I would be able to come and add photos and finish them later. I'm showing you that the workshop guide gives complete cutting instructions as well as instructions on how to put the layout together. It is really easy peasy, lemon squeezy scrapbooking.
All right, so here's the base that I've created. And you can see mine is very similar to the Stampin' Up workshop, but I knew that we were going skiing after Christmas and I really wasn't in love with the candy cane background or the mistletoe leaves. So what I did was I went into my stash and I found another snow-related scrapbooking kit. This is Chilling with My Snowmies by Echo Park. And I looked at the papers in this pack and I pulled out a paper that had ski apparel or snow apparel on it. And I substituted the snow apparel for the candy cane, thinking that this would work great for the photos that I was going to take on my ski trip. So I have printed my photos out and I'm laying them out as per the scrapbooking workshop. And you can see I have printed actually one extra photo of my daughter on her skis. And this looks okay, but I'm not in love with, I feel like there's too many conflicting colors. So I think what I'm going to do is I know that close to my heart had a color called outdoor denim, and I have a lot of that in my stash because it was one of my favorites way back in the day. And I think that that's that perfect match for that dark.
As I'm adding the outdoor denim mats behind the photos, I am getting happier with my layout. I really felt like that busy patterned paper was fighting against the colors in my layout, and I just wasn't happy with it. But adding that dark blue between the two adds a little bit of separation and contrast, and that's exactly what I need. Now that I've got my photos matted and adhered to the layout, I am much happier with the busy background paper that I chose. So my normal process is first getting an idea, which came from the workshop guide, the Snow Days workshop guide. I laid out my base pages, I printed my photos, I've got that all ready to go, and now I need to move on to my embellishments. I've gone back to the workshop guide, looked at how they created the visual triangle, and now I need to create a same or similar visual triangle. I am not going to create the same visual triangle because they have used the color red in their visual triangle, and I switched out that candy cane paper, so that's just not going to work for me. I've got to do something different. I pulled out the sticker sheet that came with the Stampin' Up Snow Days workshop, as well as the sticker sheet, the element sticker sheet that came with the Echo Park Chillin' with My Snowmies paper pack. So much snow this weekend, and I can't say the word snow. So I'm looking for similar stickers, and you can see that there's a little penguin sticker on the Echo Park sticker sheet that is very similar in size to the sticker from the Stampin' Up sticker sheet. The only thing that's different is he has a navy or blue hat versus a red hat. So I'm thinking that I can substitute that very easily. I'm going to go ahead and pull that tree sticker up, and I am going to look at the workshop guide, look at where the penguin is, where the tree is. I'm auditioning again, trying everything out, making sure that I like the way it looks. I've switched and put the pine tree closer to the photo, and I'm moving the penguin on the outside. I'm just setting everything down lightly, gently moving it around to make sure that I'm happy with the placement before I move on. Since I'm happy with the stickers on the right side of the layout, I'm going to move on to the left side of the layout where that Explorer sticker was supposed to be with the two the large and medium-sized tree stickers. I'm pulling the trees up. I'm looking at the placement according to the workshop guide, playing around, trying to get the placement just so, making sure I like the way it looks. And then I'm moving over to the Echo Park sticker sheet to get the "You Are Snow Cute" sticker and try it out with those pine trees to see if I like the way it looks as a substitute for the red word Explore. I'm liking the way it looks. I'm playing around with it to make sure that I'm happy with the placement. I'm also thinking, since this is a title and this is my main focal point, that I'm probably going to want to pop those trees and the word sticker up on pop-dots. I have a couple of still shots here showing that I've added the Stampin' dimensionals behind the stickers, and I'm very happy with the way they look now.
And you might be wondering, what am I going to put right there? Well, I need to put a little thinking cap on. I might add some snowflakes. We need our visual triangle, so I do need to add something there that is not too distracting.
So here's where I had to go into my stash, and I happen to have a couple things already sitting on my desk from another project I was doing, and they were the right color, but the words were just a little bit too large. I really don't want anything covering up my daughter's face, and I could move the visual triangle over, but that empty spot was just killing me a little bit. I had it in my head that I needed to cover up that empty spot. I had pulled out some PML cards because I knew I wanted to journal on the back of the steamboat picture, and so I was going to cut a journaling square off of a 3x4 PML card to fit that 3x3 flip flap. That didn't quite work, so I thought maybe I could put a tab on top of the flip flap and make it easier for the flip flap to flip. I wasn't happy with the scale of the tab. It didn't quite fill up the space the one way I wanted to fill it up. So I pulled out some Simple Stories foam stickers. Some of these foam stickers are that pool party color, so I thought that might work for this layout. Trying to figure out what might fit and if I had to move my visual triangle over on top of the pictures of my daughter. There are a number of sayings, so I'm trying them all. I tried the winter, it was too big. I tried the let it snow, it was just a little bit too big. It was going to come down on top of my flip flap, so that wasn't going to work for me. So I just, like I said, I kept auditioning things, trying to find the one thing that would just hit the mark for me. And I was showing you there were some foam snowflakes on this sticker sheet that I really liked, and they were the pool party color. Next, I pulled out another Simple Stories sticker sheet this time, and the colors don't really go, but there are a couple stickers on there that are the pool party color, but they're just too small in scale, and they're not really working to make the visual triangle the way that I want to make it. I did find one sticker that I liked, a Cozy Up sticker, but it was not popping off of that busy background paper. So the trick to working with busy background paper sometimes is scale, and it just wasn't the right scale. So I moved on to another thing I had in my stash. I have some spruced up die cuts that are all white, and I thought that might work. There is an arrow and a little die cut that said Cozy Up. I'm trying those out for size, but again, they're not popping off that busy background paper because they're just too tiny. They're the wrong scale. I like them, but you can't really see them. So I'm going to go off, put my thinking cap on, make my mind up where I want to go with this, and just make a decision. Surprise, I chose something that I didn't even audition. My husband walked in the room. I asked him what he thought of all my choices, and he said I needed to use the Oh What Fun. You can see there's a little bit of the pool party color around the edges, and it also has a wood grain color that matches some of the colors in that busy background print. So in the end, a different choice pulls everything together. All right, I have finished my visual triangle. I am happy with that title. I probably spent more time fussing around in my stash, shopping my stash, than I actually spent making the layout, but sometimes that's the fun in the process, is looking through everything that you have and mixing and matching and making your layout just right. I have my journaling spot. I'm ready to go. All I have to do is go do my journaling, and then the Queen of the Unfinished project will have actually finished a project. Thank you for joining me today for Finish It Friday for a Snow Days layout from Stampin' Up. Hopefully you'll join me again for another workshop soon. Today's layout featured the Stampin' Up Snow Days scrapbooking workshop. This workshop is retired, but any of these workshops can be used as a easy peasy lemon squeezy fast workshop, or a place where you can dig into your stash and amp up the layout a little bit by using your stash and using these workshops as a basic starting point. Thanks again for joining me today. This is Tina Stanzak, Stampin' Up demonstrator from Empty Nest Scrapping. If you don't have a demonstrator, please look me up on the Stampin' Up website. Have a great day.